Hey, YouTube, what is up? It has been quite the drought for Yu-Gi-Oh! Product, if I'm being honest, these last few months. Pretty much since Worlds, we haven't, not Worlds, I apologize, Nationals. Since Nationals, we haven't seen much innovation in the way the game progressed in any real new decks or strategies. We haven't seen much come about, even though we did get the Battle of Legends set and Rising Rampage. Those two sets really didn't do all that much, and it's quite unfortunate for Rising Rampage, actually. That set seems to have almost no value. I'm constantly scouring eBay and Facebook, and I'm seeing a lot of vendors liquidating their cases because the cost price of these secret rares, ultra rares, are just way too low to even feasibly open this product. Even if you do pull a prismatic secret rare, and even if it is the Appaloosa or Apollo USA, whatever you want to call that card, there isn't much value in that set. It's quite unfortunate for me because I do want the prismatic Apollos, and that does mean that it's going to be harder to actually pull that card because less product is being opened, which means that those prismatics are actually going to maintain value. It's very interesting to see that, actually. It's kind of the reverse of what I think Konami wanted. They wanted the prismatics to be something additional, but now pretty much they're the only thing that lets you pull value out of these cases in this product, and that might be why they actually put it in the set, because they knew that there wasn't much meta-relevant cards in this besides maybe the Dragoonity Link and the Marincesses. They are doing something, and we are getting the Marincesses in the special edition, but the special edition is actually still a little bit of a ways out. So with that being said, let's get into this August release window, because it's very interesting, the products we're getting and the diversity of it. That's the best way to put it. There's also some cool events happening, and let's dig right in. First off, we're getting Speed Duel Scars of Battle. I believe that is on August 2nd, and at the same time as Speed Duel Scars of Battle, we are getting Speed Duel Ultimate Predators. I think it's really, really cool that we're getting a Rex and Weevil deck. This is just cool on a nostalgia standpoint, and unfortunately, that seems to be the only thing that Speed Duel is pretty much good for at this point. That might seem like a negative comment, but I'm someone that works at an OTS, and an OTS that does do fairly well. Speed Duel for us doesn't really do much. The only players that do come for Speed Duel are children, because that's what I recommend they start playing with, because even though it might be a slightly different format and have a slightly different field, it is a very easy way to get into the game with learning spell speeds, timings, summoning conditions, and stuff of that sort. And the only other people I see buying this besides children is players just looking for nostalgia. And, you know, I don't really blame Konami for making this product. I think it's a really cool way to bridge the gap between Duel Links and regular Yu-Gi-Oh! But I think they could do a little bit more. We are also getting an event pack for them, which is, I believe, basically just their version of an OTS pack. The cards in the event packs are actually pretty valuable just because their pull rate is so low, because not many people participate in Speed Duel tournaments. So the Blue Eyes and Dark Magicians that were ultra rares, I think in the first Speed Duel tournament pack, actually have a decent value. I think of like $60 to $70, because there's just not much of them around. I think it's cool. I like the way that they imprint the word Speed Duel on the card. That is a very, very cool thing that I hope they integrate further. Hopefully we can actually get our own version of 20th anniversary secret rares with the similar printing method that we saw on the 2018 Worlds promos, if you remember those. It's just a very interesting product. I like Speed Duel, and I hope it actually succeeds. But I think they're going to have to do a little bit more. Give it a bit of a more damn, I can't even say this word. Give it a bit of a boost. It's so far-fetched for me to think that they could actually do it that I can't pronounce the words. I like Speed Duel, and I hope it succeeds, but they're going to have to do more. That's just the best way to put it. Next up, we are getting the World Championship 2019. If you don't know what this is a once-a-year event where we, duelists in North America, Europe, pretty much all around the world, get to play in the Worlds format, which is something that didn't happen very much in the past. It is a special format that combines the TCG format and the OCG formats in a very interesting way. It is not the most recent TCG ban list, I believe, though. It is the previous ban list that we are operating with, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they would release the ban list so soon if they're not going to really incorporate into Worlds, because there's not that many major events happening. I know there is the UDS happening pretty soon, but you know, it's kind of weird that they just decided to do that, because I think the UDS even happens after this point anyway. So there doesn't seem to be a need to release a ban list this early, but it's interesting to see nonetheless. Last year, I think the promos were a bit better because they were Blue Eyes and Dark Magician, and they were a special rare, which was 20th Anniversary Secret Rare. They had red names, and they had 20th Anniversary embossed in them, like I mentioned before, kind of like how Speed Duel is embossed on Speed Duel cards. It's just a very interesting card. I'm glad that we're getting the Red Eyes to at least complete the, you know, trilogy of vanilla monsters. I really like this. They're basically just copying the LOB ultra rares. Maybe next year we'll get Gaia, who knows. I'm excited to also see Monster Reborn, which was an ultra in LOB. Maybe next year we can get a Raigeki to go along with that. I don't like that they changed the rarity. I'm not the biggest fan of, if you see this right here, it is a holographic rare that they call hieroglyphic rare. You can kind of see it now that there's hieroglyphs on the card running vertically. It's cool, but I think it just makes the cards look like Hobby League, and I'm not the biggest fan of those cards. That's just all I have to say about that. But if you do enjoy playing unique formats and coming up with your own deck that, not many other people are going to think about, you're going to have a lot of fun. Last year I actually played Blue Eyes in the Worlds format, and I did very well because I was able to stop Goki. And not many people saw that coming. Blue Eyes has a lot of synergy against the Goki deck at the time, and Goki was still the strongest in the World's Championship, I believe. So a lot of people in my locals decided to play that. So it's very interesting to see this event continue. I'm glad they're doing it. I think it's a good thing that Konami is giving us fan support for even events that we can't personally attend. If they did something like this for Nationals as well, I think that'd be pretty interesting. Obviously, I don't want them to give us prize cards at locals or anything like that, but if we could get a alternate rare that maybe you get on entry at Nationals, that'd be a cool way to go about it, even if you can't attend Nationals. Just something to consider. The next product we're getting, I believe on the 15th of August, is the OTS Pack 11. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find a picture of this because they haven't really released what the pack is going to look like. We do know what is in it because Konami actually goofed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically in the middle of July, maybe slightly earlier than the middle of July, they released the full list of OTS 11 cards, so we know what ultimate rares we're getting, and I think that this OTS pack is taking a step in the right direction. It did cause a lot of confusion, though, because they did write that it was releasing on July 15th, not August 15th. And as someone that works at an OTS, we had a lot of upset customers because they thought we were withholding OTS packs, but the unfortunate truth was Konami just done goofed. The product doesn't actually even come out for another 2 weeks from this point that I'm recording this video. I'm excited, though. I think it's the right step to actually put staples as OTS Pack Ultimates, not to put archetype-specific cards. Last time around, it was pretty much all archetype cards, which I didn't mind because I played Thunder Dragon, so it was nice to get an Ulti Colossus. But I like what they're doing now, where one of the cards is a staple, and then the rest of them are kind of devoted to, meta-relevant decks, so I don't think that's the wrong way to go. I like the fact that we're getting Pot of Desires as an ultimate rare. I think that card's going to hold some value because staples usually do. Cards like Ghost Ogre, Max C, Terraforming, it's just good to have higher rarity cards that are going to last more than one format, and I think OTS packs are going to have to continue to do this in the future because, players that usually get OTS packs or buy the ultis are the ones that are looking for longevity in their card values. They are meta-relevant competitive players, and I don't see most competitive players buying ultis every format if they know that the ban list is just going to eradicate their deck and make their ultis go from 50 and 80 all the way down to like $20 and $30. With that being said, the next product we are getting is the Structure Deck Rocket Revolt, and I actually think that this is going to shake up the meta a little bit. Japan's best deck right now is arguably Dragon Link, which is a deck that relies on the Jagutani Link and a bunch of dragon monsters in a weird hodgepodge deck that kind of reminds me of GOAT format because you're just basically playing best dragon deck. It's not really an archetype. There are rocket cards that they use in that deck, and I do think that us getting this is going to push our rocket, meta relevance higher. I don't know if we're necessarily going to see the same strength that we're seeing in Japan. They have a lot of cards that we don't, examples being Needle Fiber. Max C does play a good role in stopping a lot of decks. This deck does pop off, though, and I'm excited to see what TCG variants we get. We do have Dangers, and Japan is getting them soon, so it's interesting to see what kind of variation we're going to see come about because of this product. We're getting towards the end of the Vrains era. We now know that they're basically going to end Vrains, I think, around 2020, they said, and they're going to start whatever Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 is. I hope it's a return to the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series because I think that would draw back a lot of players, and it would be a good chance to halt some of this power creep that this game is advancing with. But that's just speculation and my own hopes. Either way, Rocket Revolt is definitely a product I'm going to be picking up, and I have a lot of hope for. The next pack that is coming out is Fist of the Gadgets. Fist of the Gadgets comes out, let me read my list right here. I went really far. August 23rd. I don't know if I actually mentioned it, but the Rocket Revolt is coming out on the 16th of August. I might have forgot to mention that. But Fist of the Gadgets comes out on the 23rd. Very interesting product. It has made Fire Fist cards spike in value. I remember this because I actually picked up cards early on because one of my friends told me it had some relevance or might have some powerful cards coming out, even though we don't necessarily know what they are. A lot of TCG exclusives is usually never a bad thing. And this has made Ulti Fire Fist Bear go from about, $45 for a playset all the way up to pretty much like $100 for a playset. Very interesting. Tenki has also spiked from 40 to I think like 60 at this point, and I expect it to go quite a lot higher just because it's a Astral Pack Ultimate Rare, I believe. But it's a very interesting set. We're getting a lot of Fire Fists that are going to be TC exclusives. We're getting a lot of gadget cards, some imports, and we are getting some Summon Skull cards. And that is one of my favorite cards as a kid. Just such a cool looking card. So I'm glad we're getting some of the Summon Skull cards in there as well. Just looks so badass. I mean, the purple black lightning, it's such a cool concept. Anyway, I might have gotten a little too excited for this one because it's just one of the products that I think is going to shake up the meta the most. I think Fire Fist is actually going to make some moves. It was a very relevant deck back in the day, has a lot of support for it. And the fact that, you know, we can basically run 3 different Rotas without them being at 1, which a lot of decks don't have at this point. Examples being Salamangreat. Even Rota itself is limited, but we still got 3 Tenkies. So that's very interesting. We could even search Tenki if we really needed to. So it's a very interesting set. I think it's going to have some meta relevance. And the last product coming out that I think needs to be mentioned is the 2019 Gold Tins. These are amazing. As someone that works at an OTS, I haven't really seen much hype for a Megatin in the last couple of years. This is the one that a lot of people are hyped for. This is the one that we, you know, are going to see probably the most, I guess, most waves out of. We're getting alternate rarities, which is really interesting. Hopefully the alternate rarities are similar to how we're seeing in Rising Rampage, where it's not just secret rares getting alternate foilings. We did confirm that Dangerous Uchinoko is going to be reprinted in the new Prismatic Secret Rare. We don't know if that is the Rainbow Rare that we're seeing in Rising Rampage, or it could just be regular Prismatic. But either way, I'm glad we're getting alternate rarities. It'd be cool if they rarity bump some cards as well. I think they said they're making 5 Prismatic Secret Rares in this set, Snake being one of them as an example. Hopefully we can get some lower rarity cards, maybe ultras and even a common. Maybe if they do 1 from every type, because I know the Megatin does give you secrets, supers, ultras, rares, and commons. It'd be cool if we could see 1 variant card be printed from each level of rarity. That'd be pretty interesting. It's a very cool product. It's the first time that I can remember in a long time that we haven't gotten variant tins. So there isn't 2, 4, or 5 tins each year. There's just this one this year. You don't have to scramble around to get the promos. And the promos this time around are kind of nostalgia bait, but they are the best kind. They are alternate rarity Kazuki Takahashi official artwork cards, and those are some of the coolest looking cards in the game, in my opinion. So this is a product to look out for. It comes out the 30th, if I didn't mention it before. This is probably the 4th time I recorded this video because I forgot to mention the date a couple times on some of them, but I think I nailed it all this time. So hopefully I'm done. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, what your favorite product for the release month of August is. I'm personally most excited for Fist of the Gadgets and the Megatin. Obviously, most people are going to be too. Those just seem to be some of the biggest hitting products this time around, at least for the month of August. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. I'm very excited to hear from you guys. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully, I can go through it and not have to re-record. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to click thumbs up. It helps a lot and helps other people find this video. And if you really enjoyed it, don't forget to click subscribe because it's free, it's fun. And if you want to keep hearing my voice, don't forget to do it because I'll see you in the next one.